So I went to ChatGPT and asked this question: which job title uses Microsoft Project the most? Of course, the obvious answer that came was project manager. But I was surprised to see that there was no scheduler mentioned in that option. In fact, it is actually the scheduler whose bread and butter is Microsoft Project. But that name was not mentioned. But if you are a project manager or you want to become one, or if you are planning to go for a project manager job interview, then this video is very important for you. I will show you a step-by-step approach to learn Microsoft Project 2021 in less than 45 minutes using my secret technique, my escalators approach. By the way, if you have never used Microsoft Project before, you will be able to learn this tool in less than 45 minutes. That is my promise to you. So let's go right into it. By the way, who am I? My name is Varun and I am the CEO and founder of EduHubSpot, a training institute that has helped thousands of people to fulfill their dream in excelling their career in project management. To make best use of this video, I want you to pause this video. In the description below, I have given you a link to download an exercise file, of course free of cost. I want you to follow that exercise file along with me in this video for the best experience. I am more of a hands-on guy, so if you do that, trust me, the experience will probably become double. Welcome back. I hope you were able to download the exercise file. Just keep it handy with you. I don't want you to use it. I'll tell you when to use it. As mentioned before, to explain Microsoft Project 2021 for project managers, I will be using my 7 steps escalator approach. Now, what is this escalators approach? I will explain you Microsoft Project 2021 using a step-by-step framework. And that too, within just 45 minutes, you will become an expert beginner. Now, what is this expert beginner? An expert in the beginners category. So let's go right into it. Step number 1. Set up your Microsoft Project 2021. So on my screen, you can see I have opened a blank, fresh Microsoft Project file. So on the very top, the one in the green, this is known as your quick access toolbar. Now, what is a quick access toolbar? Whatever features, whatever things you see, you feel that they will be most commonly used, all you need to do is add those in the quick access toolbar so that you can go over there quickly. Let me give you an example. Let's say I like this respect on links a lot and I want this on the quick access toolbar. All I need to do is just right click on this and click on add to quick access toolbar. The moment I clicked add to quick access toolbar, you can see this option which is coming on the top. If you don't want to use it, just right click over it and click on remove from the quick access toolbar and it is gone. Then this ribbon which you see below your quick access toolbar, this is basically your main ribbon. Over here you can see the file. We'll go on the file, that is basically the backend view. Then we have the task, resources, we have the report column, what type of reports you want to use. Then we have the project file, the project tab, we have the view tab and help and the Gantt chart format. We can go over each one of them in detail at a later stage. Then at the bottom over here you see is how the task is scheduled. Are they auto scheduled? Are they manual scheduled? You can click on it and you can change it. I typically recommend people to just use the auto scheduled. This portion on your left which you see, this is where you will add your task, resources, add the predecessors. On the right, what you see, this is your Gantt chart view where a Gantt chart would be created. Okay. Then from the this particular section, you can go to any views which you like. I typically prefer the Gantt chart view with the timeline view. That is my personal favorite which I use. This is basically the timeline view which you see, but you can select any particular view, like this is the resource sheet. Resource sheet is where you will add all the resources. So this is your front end. Now a couple of things on the front end, but before I even talk about it, I will first go on the backend view. To go on the backend view, click on the file tab. Now over here you will see some some options like click on the info. On the right hand side you will see like what is the start date. Like in this case you see the start dates of 2009. I can go ahead and change it to something more something more recent. Let's say if I say today, and let me, instead of just today, I will go to July. Let's start the project on 3rd of July. Okay, then you can see the finish date is 7/3 because it's a blank file, nothing is written. Then you can see schedule from, you can see the current date is today. Basically this is today, December 2023. You can see the status date is where you, the last your Microsoft project was updated, last modified, the calendar, what type of calendar you have the night shift, the 24 hours, what type, and then we have the priority also. For some of the projects, some of the tasks, you can actually increase the priority also. I'll show you all those things. Then in the info section, come below and click on the options. Now when you click on the options, you will have a file which popped up. Now a default view, if you want to change, if there is any particular view which you like the most, you can select any particular view from here. So whenever you will have Microsoft project open, you can have that particular view coming on default. Like right now you saw Gantt with timeline, because if you see, this is my Gantt chart and this was the timeline view. Then username, initials, nothing important. Then on the display side, okay, you can actually update the currency. If let's say you are working in euros, you can select euros or any other currency if you would like. Then this currency options for this project. So basically, are you doing it for the new project? Sometimes you will see that, oh, it is coming for the entire project also. So you will see all new projects also coming over here. Okay, in this case it is not, but sometimes it comes. Okay, now scheduling. Now for scheduling, same thing. Okay, as I'm mentioning, do I want to do it for all the files which I have in all Microsoft project? Like whenever I open a new file, do I want to do it for everything, or do I want to do it only for this particular file name? And this particular file name is new project which I have just added. You can have your own name. Then you can mention when does your week start? Does it start on Sunday? Does it start on Monday? Because if you know, in Middle East, Friday, Saturday is holiday. Not in Dubai, but in some of the Middle East countries, it's Friday, Saturday. For some countries, only Saturday is a holiday. So you can select from here when is the fiscal year starts. What is the time your day starts? 8 to 5 is typically an 8 hours. Sometimes people 8 hours is like total 8 hours of working with with 1 hour of lunch break. That's how it is, because 8 to 5 is total 9 hours. So you did 9 minus 1. Then new task created. Do you want to have new task created and manually scheduled or auto scheduled? I typically make it auto scheduled. That's what it is. Auto scheduled is should it start from the project. If you add a new task, should it start from the project start date, or should it start from the current date? I typically do the project start date. That's how it is. You want to enter the duration in days, minutes, hours, months. So you can have all those. Days is typically the most common. Work is entered in default task type, fixed units. I can go into detail about, but this is a typical long section which I have explained in my detailed video. Then you can scroll down. Calculation options, updating the resource status, all this I think is fine. Nothing. Then you can go on the advanced section. Do you need to do anything in the advanced section? I think everything looks good on the advanced section as well. Okay, now one thing on the advanced section which I want you to update. See this option where it says calculate multiple critical tasks. Make sure that calculate multiple critical tasks is selected. I always want that because if your particular project has multiple critical paths, and I'll explain you what critical path is later, but if you have, then you want Microsoft project to let you know. So make sure this is turned on, and I think rest everything is good. You can make changes to quick access toolbar also and click on OK. Now my backend is ready. Now on the front end, you can go on the project and you can click on the change working time. Now change working time. Now what do I mean by that? Over here, if you want to set up some kind of holidays or exceptions, you can, in the exceptions section, you can actually enter a holiday. Let's say, I want to say Christmas is on, so click over here. I want to say Christmas is on 25th December, right? So let me pick and let me say 25th of December. So I click and I click OK. So now Christmas is on. So now Microsoft project knows that, on this particular day is a Christmas holiday. So they will consider that as a non-working day. You can add all your, holidays over here. Then what else? You can also talk about, 24 hours, night shift, different calendars also. You can add that. You can create your own calendar also if needed. And I think then work weeks also you can mention about. By default it's coming 8 to 12, 12 to 1 is lunch, and 1 to 5, but you can enter any information over here about the work weeks as well. Okay, click on OK. Step number 2, define tasks and activities for your project. If you remember, I asked you to download the exercise file from my website. Basically, that exercise file, I have used it specifically for project managers. What is that exercise file? Which is explaining the 5 different process groups: the initiating, the planning, the executing, the monitoring control, and finally the closing. In each of these process groups, there are certain processes which we do. Like in initiating, we talk about project charter, right? In planning, we talk about scope. We talk about, risk management plan, or things of that sort. So I have created set of, tasks or activities which I don't want you to manually type in. So open the Excel file which I have shared it with you. Let me open that. So you can see this file. Let me Control C, copy it. I'm copying it, okay, and paste it in your Microsoft project. Okay, now you can see all these tasks are basically copied over here. These tasks which you are seeing, I have actually taken the reference of Microsoft project itself. In the template section of Microsoft project, and I can actually show it to you. If you go on the file tab, you can see you can create some templates over here, right? In one of the templates, it's about the project management plan. You can see the project management plan. So I used this template, but it has so much detailed information, so I didn't want it to use all the details. I just framed few of my own processes just to make it easier, because if you can understand these tasks, you can actually apply the same logic to all the tasks. Okay, now let me just do, okay, now what I need you to do, first of all, I want to show you these tasks are activities. Okay, the one, like for example, develop project charter, it's one of the process which is part of your initiating process group, right? So develop project charter is a subtask of initiating, and then the task which you are seeing over here, which is like about identify the objectives, develop the strategies, research some previous things, and finally this is complete. All of these subtasks are part of your develop project charter, and develop project charter is part of your initiating process group. So it's like a subset of subset. Now this develop project charter is a summary task. I want to show that it is a summary task. So what I need you to do is select all of the tasks under develop project charter and click on this intent button. The moment you click on this intent button, it shows that all of these subtasks are the subset task, and develop project charter is your summary task. I want you to apply the same logic to the remaining task also, like in define scope, right? Select all the tasks under this and click on intent. Okay, same thing. Let's apply to this. Click on intent. Okay, oops, I think I forgot to add the project schedule develop, right? This is also, so let me just click over here and do that as well. Okay, click on intent. Okay, select all, click on indent. Okay, plan for quality, intent. Okay, intent. So quickly, let's do it. I'll just do it quickly for you. Okay, now I want to show that define scope, develop project schedule, and all these are subset of planning. So I want you to select all of these subtasks, like define scope, develop project schedule. Just select all of these. Risk plan, plan for quality, resource plan, procurement plan, and these. So all of these are subset for planning. So just click on the intent option and you will see that my planning has become the subset of this. So if I click, you can see everything is gone. Okay. Now let's talk about execution. Same steps. First, let's select this intent. Okay, so this is done. So there are just, I explained just 2 tasks. So this is part of your executing. So let me just intent show for executing. Let me just close executing also. Okay. Now monitoring and control. Okay, perfect. Okay, and all of these are part of. So all of these are your summary tasks. At the topmost summary, you have the project management plan for project managers. Initiating is also a summary task, and rest all are basically the subtask of that. Now, another important point which I want you to know. You're seeing this question mark in all, right? Question mark, question mark. So by default, what Microsoft Project does is it puts you a question mark, which is basically for you to decide whether is this a 1-day task, is it a 5-day task, whatever the duration of that task is. They want you to make that change. Like for instance, if I say that no, this is not a 1-day task, it is a 2-day task, it's a 2-day task, right? 3-day task, 4-day task, whatever. So they want you to manually type the duration, and it's not just days. You can actually add hours, you can add weeks, you can add months, you can add whatever. So by default, if you remember, on the backend view, I have made sure that it is in hours because it's in days, because that's what I typically use. Okay, now if you see this development of project charter complete, this is your milestone task. What is a milestone task? Milestone task is a task with 0 duration. So 0 duration means if you're seeing 1 over here, I want you to make this as 0. But before I do that, I want to show you something. So click on the scroll to task option. Okay, now you see all these tasks which are available over here. Okay, now the moment I will put 0, see on the right on the Gantt chart view what will happen. Okay, now you see that it became, that bar became a diamond. So basically diamond shows that it's a milestone task. Now I want you to make sure that add all of the last task for each of the sections as milestone task. So let's just quickly do it. Okay. Okay, and I want you to change these, just put some random days. I don't want you to put random days, whatever the actual days is, please, make sure you do it. For now, I'm just putting some random, just for, sake of the calculation, which is done. Oops, that's 0, 2, this is 2, this is 3, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, it's developed, so this is 0. This is 2, this is 3, this is 0. Okay, now let's come to execution. Same thing, 2, 3, 2, oops, project team acquired, which is a milestone task. So I'll put a 0 days. Okay, I'll say 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is 0. Okay, let's do it the same for monitoring. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 0. This is 1, this is 6, this is 7, oh, 0. Okay, acceptance is 2, this is 3, and this is your completion. Okay, let's do it for closing. 2, 3. Okay, perfect. Make sure you should not see a question mark. Okay, so I see I forgot this, 2, 3, 0. Okay, I didn't do this. 2, 3, 3, 0. Okay, perfect. Everything is now complete. We're seeing that our project is getting finished in 7 days. I think that's that's pretty quickly. But you know what? Let's just make some more days also. Some of them more days. Like 16. Okay, 12 days. Okay. This is like 26 days. Okay, so I just randomly added some more days also. Okay, perfect. Next, I want you to explain the predecessor column. Now, what is a predecessor column? Predecessor column is a relationship between multiple tasks. By default, Microsoft Project says that the relationship is finished to start, but you can add as many relationships as possible. In the definition, we have 4 different types of relationships. We have finish to start to start, finish to finish, and start to finish. I'm not going to explain you all of these relationships here in this video. If you want to understand all of the different relationships, I have recorded a complete set of this course. You can watch, you can go ahead and watch that on my website. But for now, I just wanted to give you a basic idea so that you can get an understanding how to add the relationship. So let's just by default, let's first put all of the relationships finish to start, and then few of them I will change the relationships to different ones also. Okay, so how to add quickly? Let's say identify goals and objectives and develop strategies and plan. So basically, identify goal and objective. So until unless you have a goal and objective defined of your project, you cannot develop the strategy, right? So there is a relationship between this, a finish to start relationship between these two tasks. So how to define that? One way is that if you see, identify goals and objective is task number 4. Okay, and develop strategies and plans is task number 5. So in the predecessor column over here, I want you to type in 4. Okay, so the moment you type in 4, if you see over here, this relationship, these two tasks which were starting at the same time, now they are starting one after the other, which is finish to start. One task is finishing and then the other task is being started. Okay, so for now, I'm just randomly adding that all of these are finish to start relationship. Okay, and how to do that? You see an option which says over here on the link the selected task. By default, Microsoft Project does is give a finish to start relationship. Okay, development of project charter is finished. Okay, so now development of project charter is dependent on starting the scope. So I will do a finish to start relationship between them. Now among these, let's say same thing. It's the same relationship, so it's dividing one after the other. But I'm saying that project schedule can be started at the same time when the scope is defined, right? Or you know what? No, let's say that first the scope needs to be defined. So let's first do a finish to start relationship here as well. And I'm just randomly putting the relationships. Once you are doing a project, I want you to think about it and then do it. For the interest of time and just to show you how it is done, I'm just randomly putting finish to start for now. But I'm going to show you the different relationships also. Okay, but let's say I'm saying that the project schedule and cost estimates are being done almost like they both can start at the same time. So instead of doing a finish to start, I want to show a start to start relationship. So all you have to do is double click and it will open this task information. Click on the predecessor column over here. Okay, now let's there are multiple ways of doing it. First is, if you can actually select a task from here which one you want to show dependency. Like I'm saying that task number 21 is dependent on task number 16. So let me say this. By default it comes finish to start, but I don't want finish to start, I want, let's say, start to start. So I can do a start to start, and you can see that 16 SS will come. If I do scroll to task, you can see how the relationship has now changed. Okay, now you can see this between these two. Okay, now let's say that all these three have your finish to start. Okay, risk plan. Okay, this is also finished to start. Okay, but risk plan can start, let's say, risk plan, quality, let's say resource. procurement, all of these can, or let's say communication, all of these can start at the same time when the charter is complete. Okay, so I just did a finish to start relationship between them. Okay, so randomly I added the, okay, now, okay, now let's do this, finish to start. So quickly just put the relationships. I just put finish to start quickly. Let's quickly just put the same thing for execution also. Let's quickly do it. Now I want to show you how to add a lag or lead between two tasks. Now let's pick up, let's see. Okay, let's see. Let's select these two tasks: develop risk, document risk, and identify risk. Okay, now, okay, so double click on identify risk. So it has, if you see, this is 0 duration. So what is a lag? Lag is a waiting time between two tasks. Now, if you see on your Gantt chart view, I want to show it to you that currently this document risk management plan finishes and the identify risk process starts. But now I want to say that there is a waiting time of 2 days. So just type in 2 and you will see a gap coming up between these two. So see, there is a gap of 2 days basically, which is a lag. This is how you add a lag. Now, but let's say I want to add a lead. Okay. Now, let's say I want to add a lead between this. I want to add a lead between, no, not on a summary task. Okay, let's do it between this. This is dependency on this, right? Okay. So double click on identify. Now I want to say that, but before I do that, I want to scroll to task so that I can show you on the right. Okay. Now, these are the two tasks, right? So you see this is how it looks like currently, right? I want to show that there is a lead. So this particular bar will come over here, right? It's basically a jump start. So identify potential subcontractors will get a jump start. Okay, how to do it? So I'll double click on this, and now if I need to add a lead, I need to write, instead of writing the like 2, let's say I want to do a lead of 2 days, I will put a negative sign and then write 2 and see on how it will show change over here. Okay, so see, it shows that it got a jump start. So that's how you add a lead and a lag. Okay, I have already showed you how to change different types of relationships. Like this is currently finish to start, develop staffing plan with document resource need. You can select any of the, let's say I want to say finish to finish. So you can click on finish to finish also. Like both the tasks are finishing at the same time. That's sort of like one has to finish before the other can finish. Actually, that's what finish to finish is. But you can, this is how you can change the relationships as well. By default, the most commonly used is finish to start, but you can use any of these. Once again, if you need to understand these in detail, then I would ask you to click on the link below in my YouTube description, and that will take you to my website where I've explained the entire course in detail. But don't do it now. Let's first do a quick walkthrough of the entire step-by-step process. Step number 3, create and assign resources. So once you add the predecessors, then next step is to add the resources. How to add the resources? There are multiple ways you can add the resources. Either you can add a resource directly by typing it here. Let's say I say identify goals and objective. That's the job of project manager. Okay. Develop strategies and plan. I can say that's job of project manager. And sponsor. Okay. You can type in a comma and you can say sponsor. This is also one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is, let's say research previous experience. You can double click on this and you can click on the resource section, and you can from the drop down over here you can select over here also. Okay, you can type in a new resource over here also. You can write like a tester is doing this. I'm just randomly putting it, so you can assign it directly from here also. Or there is another way you can do it. And this another way is typically what I typically use. I'll go to my resource sheet. So click on and go to the resource sheet. Now over here, I will first document all the resources which I have on the project. Like I'll say project sponsor, manager, sponsor, software engineer, let's say who will do the development. Okay. Then I will have, let's say, contractors. Okay. Then let's say I will have project assistant. I'm just randomly putting names. Okay. Then let's say I will be using a laptop for my project. So laptop. Now laptop is not a work resource. Instead, laptop is a material resource. So there are three different types of resources: work, material, and cost. So I'm saying a laptop is a material resource, and let's say the cost of laptop is $1,000. But then let's say for one of the meeting, I'm planning to fly out. Okay, if I'm planning to fly out, let's say airfare, right? So airfare is my cost resource. Okay, cost resource. And I can now how to add the cost resource, like I can't do it over here. Once I'm in the Gantt chart view, when I'm assigning a airfare, basically a cost resource, at that time, I will add it. I'll show you that in detail at a later stage, not at this point of time. Okay, but this is how you add the different resources. You can write in like a project manager, let's say it's $100 per hour, overtime rate is let's say 50, sponsor is let's say an expensive resource, let's say it is $400, and overtime rate is let's say 200, tester is let's say 50, 25, software engineer is let's say 125 and 75. So just type in whatever. I'm just randomly putting. Contractor is let's say 40, 20, oops. Okay, project assistant is also let's say 30 and it's let's say $20. Okay, so you can add in the information. So now go back to the Gantt chart, and over here you can see that all the resources which you have added I have completed. Now it's a milestone chart. Typically you really don't need to assign a resource to a milestone chart, but you can I'll just probably add sponsor's name over here. I'll just select and press enter, and that's one way of doing it. So for now what I'm doing is I'm actually copy paste all of these resources and I'm just documenting it here just to save time, to be honest. So you can quickly assign any resources, but on your project you should actually assign who this task is assigned to. Okay. Never assign a resource to a summary task. So keep that in mind. Now I assigned all the resources. Step number 4, adjusting and fine-tuning the project schedule. Now if you see, when I added the resources, there is a red color, a person, shaped symbol which is coming. This shows that this particular resource is over allocated and we need to resolve it. But this is what it means by fine-tuning the project schedule. You will run into a lot of issues. This is just one issue about over allocation, but there could be multiple issues which would arise. How to fix those? I want you to right click on this issue, red color, or if you see a red line coming on your project schedule, I want you to click right click and select this option which is fix in task inspector. So the moment you select on fix in task inspector, you will see Microsoft project telling you what really the issue is and how to resolve that issue. So it says resource over allocated due to work on other tasks. So basically a tester, which over here is working multiple times, or like probably at the same day, a tester is working on multiple tasks which require more effort. So its first option is move tasks to resources next available time. So the moment I clicked on that, you can see that the red color symbol has gone. That's one way of doing it. You can see clearly that it's no longer an issue. So Microsoft project shows you how to fix it. You can go ahead and fix it if you really want to. Other way is like you can add more resources. Now let's go back to resource sheet. And it shows that both sponsor, tester, or project manager, all three are like over allocated. So if you see, it says max is 100%, right? the tester. So 100% means there is one resource who is working 100%. Let's say I add 200%. So the moment I add 200%, you can see that the tester is no longer in red. This means that I have hired 2 testers on my project, and whatever task on the Gantt chart which was first assigned to tester, they will not have the red person coming, because it's no longer over allocated. You can see initially if I do Control Z, I'm pretty sure the number will come. Okay, so let's say I say this is 100%. I'll go back and I'll show it to you. You can see that, right? Tester, this red color person. So that's also another one way of fixing it. Step number 5, monitoring and updating the project. Now your sponsor will reach out to you and ask, not just sponsor, anybody senior management will ask you that, hey, what is the project status right now? What was it 2 months back? And things of like, are you on track? Are you not on track? Are you behind schedule, ahead of schedule? All of those things. For that, you need to have baselines developed. Now, how to add a baseline? Click on the project tab and you see an option which says set baseline. Click on that option, set baseline. Now this is where you can set up the baseline. There are by default 10 baselines which Microsoft Project allows you to do it. You can pick anyone. I typically start from the from the top, and then you can go down. Okay, let's see, baseline. You can do it for the entire project, or you can set up a baseline for some selected tasks if you like to. You can do that, but I typically don't prefer. I'll just go for the entire project. So the moment you have set up the baseline, just go on the baseline section again. Over here you can see that the baseline which is last saved on, which is today's date, which is December 20, 2023. So you can see that a baseline is saved over here. Initially it was just coming the word baseline, if you remember. Okay, just click on here. So this is how you set up a baseline. Now the next is like when you're monitoring the project, you can also show that okay, these tasks are complete, these tasks are not complete, and things. So for that, add a new column which is percentage complete. This percentage complete task shows that how much this particular task is complete. So I'm saying that all my initiation tasks are already complete. So I'm just put 100% to show. I just added 100% to show that my initiation is complete. Let's say my scope is also complete. Okay, so scope is also complete. Let's say schedule is not fully complete. Let's say this is 40%. Well, this is 0 duration, so I'll just probably put it like so. Now this shows, now if you come on the left, you can see a tick mark coming. Tick mark coming means that this particular task is complete. And the moment if I change from 100 to, let me just show you something actually. The moment I do 100 to, let's say if I do 50%, okay, you will see that the tick mark has gone. You can see a tick mark has already gone. So let me just go back and do 100%. Okay, so this is about your monitoring the project. Step number 6, project reporting. Now, when the management comes to you, they will definitely ask you, okay, show me whether your project is behind schedule or ahead of schedule, or your project is under budget, over budget. How will you do that? Microsoft Project has a specific section on report, beautifully done. There are by default reports which already Microsoft Projects collect, can show it to you. Like if you go on your project overview, this will show you that the total, it's like 26% of your project is complete. It will show you the tasks which are already laid. It will also show you the milestones. So you can actually download these reports in PDF format as well. To share it with. Then there are other reports also, like one of my favorite is basically your cost overruns report. It can show you like whether you are under budget, over budget. So all these reports are also come in. Then resource, over allocated resources, if you want to see, you can see it shows that project manager 93 hours technically, but it's like over allocated by 715 hours. So it will show you the over allocation task also. Some of the reports which are, it comes on its own. It's very, very easy. Step number 7, lastly, the final step, project closing. Now for project closing, it's basically about project progressing, which means that You check, make sure everything is, the work is complete. You update your percentage complete section. You add in all the percentages, show that the project is complete. If there are any issues, if you want to release any resources and things of that sort, you will make the final changes on the project. I explained Microsoft Project 2021 using my 7 steps escalator approach. Now let's quickly repeat what were those 7 steps. Step number 1, set up your Microsoft Project 2021. Step number 2, define tasks and activities for your project. Step number 3, create and assign resources. Step number 4, adjusting and fine-tuning the project schedule. Step number 5, monitoring and updating the project. Step number 6, project reporting. And lastly, project closing, step number 7. I hope you liked my video on mastering Microsoft Project in less than 30 minutes. But this was just a trailer of the full movie which is in front of you. So basically, I gave you a very high level overview so that you can be ready for your interview. But if you really want to know in and out about Microsoft Project 2021, then I have created a full-fledged detailed course about this, where I will be using my hands-down approach, where I will show you step by step using an example, explain everything in detail so that you can watch along with me, learn, make your own project schedule. And on top of that, nobody has done this yet. Nobody has simply done this, which I have done it, which is that I will be giving you homework assignments where you yourself will be creating a full-fledged project schedule at your end. And on top of that, I have given a video explanation for those homework assignments as well. And I have got thousands of emails, reviews from people all over the world that this is the best course they have ever done to learn Microsoft Project. So if you are interested, click on the link below in the description to go ahead and be part of Edu HubSpot family. Just in case, if you learned something valuable, please click on the like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends, colleagues. Tell YouTube that this is one of the best video, and how would YouTube know? When you actually like and comment on this video. So please don't forget to do that. And please, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly at varun.anand@eduhubspot.com. I personally reply to each and every email I get. So I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.